This is music, and this is another bunch of first impressions. Welcome to another first impressions video. I am chewing my way through all the blind buy CDs I bought in 2021 and in 2022, having a blast, enjoying most of it. Today I have quite a lot actually of CDs to go through and share my first impressions of with you. So let's just get to it. Up first we have Invictus by Forté. The hype sticker says cult melodic power thrash for fans of Malice, Hellstar, Hex, and Pantera. And as you can see, it's actually a compilation of 1, 2, 3 albums. And the albums are Division from 94, Destructive from 97, and Rise Above from 99. So we're dealing with 90s metal here, and this could be good, this could be bad. Fortunately, this is good. I don't think any of the 3 albums on here are as good as the, I think was it Stranger Than Fiction? I think that's a great album. That's a masterpiece almost. They're not at that level, but they're still excellent albums. It's very interesting to sort of hear the progression throughout the albums. Division from 94 sounds like somewhere in between the Stranger Than Fiction album and then some more, 90s stuff. So you've got a bit of groove. That's why it certainly makes sense that they recommend this to fans of Pantera. Very, very good album actually, Division. I don't know if they changed vocalist. I haven't even read up on that, but I don't know if they changed vocalist. I think the vocals on Division are a bit reminiscent, but not identical to the vocals on Stranger Than Fiction. And then on Destructive and Rise Above, the vocals are a bit more, they sound like somewhere in between Helmet, Biohazard, all that kind of 90s stuff. Just somebody who is better or maybe even more trained singer. But yeah, Division, great, just a thrashy album with lots of groove, lots of up-tempo fast parts. It is a thrash album for sure. Destructive and Rise Above have more groove to them, but they still have the fast, thrashy parts too. And while all 3 albums on here are melodic, I don't think they're as melodic as Stranger Than Fiction. I actually don't think I would call these 3 albums melodic power thrash. I would probably call them groove thrash or something like that. But they're great. All 3 albums are great. This is a fantastic, it's a dive bomb collection, by the way. Fantastic stuff. I really, really enjoy all 3 albums, although they're not as great as Stranger Than Fiction. But yeah, if you'd like your thrash metal, your fast stuff, your aggressive stuff, if you like your groovy stuff as well, and if you like your kind of Biohazard, Prong, Helmet sort of vocals, just sung by somebody who's better at singing, not dunking on those 3 bands, check this out. This is great stuff. Invictus by Forté, absolutely recommended if you like thrash metal. The next one, Roll the Dice by Furious Trauma. Furious Trauma are also a thrash metal band. This one is also from the 90s. It's from 1999, and it's very, very clear when you listen to this that this is another thrash metal band trying to navigate the metal scene of the 90s. There's not a lot of thrash on this one. There's a lot of groove on this, but also like blues and hard rock and lots of things that don't work, to be honest, for me. I think there are some songs, Alive, the 5th Season, and Opinions. Those are actually pretty good groovy songs. But you got like Roll the Dice, which is like a blues hard rock track, and then you have Lars Schmidt's kind of like thrash metal vocals on top of that just doesn't work for me. Um, uh, in the Tombs is actually a very good song too. So you have some very good songs, and you have some to my ears kind of subpar songs when you kind of go back and listen to the demos this band made, because they were absolutely fantastic. Profit Counts is an amazing demo tape, and the first album as well, Primal Touch, is fantastic. And of course they came back, and I think it was in 2020 or maybe 2021, they released a great groove thrash, really aggressive album too. This one is kind of like caught in a weird kind of no man's land genre wise. There are some good things on it to my ears, and there's some things on it that make me go, ah. It's kind of like Anthrax's Volume 8, right? Kind of like it seems like they don't know where they're doing, where they're going. They don't know what to do. They're trying to keep up with the 90s scene, but they also do want to kind of do their own thing. So yeah, Roll the Dice, Furious Trauma, very similar to Volume 8. The Thread is Real by Anthrax, not in sound or genre or anything like that, but in approach. Caught somewhere in no man's land. There are some good songs on here for sure, and if you like your thrash metal, do check out Furious Trauma, because all the other albums they made are fantastic. So yeah, that's Furious Trauma. Up next, Galaxy on the Shore of Life. No, that's this one here. Galaxy on the Shore of Life, and this one is Lost from the Start. There you go. Lost from the Start is an EP, although the last track, the title track, is actually very long. This is great stuff. This is traditional metal with some speed metal thrown in, and I think the vocals might be a bit of an acquired taste. He has a bit of a King Diamond-esque approach to singing, except he doesn't go into all the extremes that King Diamond does. But musically, the vocals are also very good, but musically very good. Traditional metal with a slightly modern sound, catchy riffs, great guitar melodies. You got a lot of speed metal thrown in. I would say this is halfway speed metal release. So yeah, great stuff. Lost from the Start, fantastic stuff. If you like your traditional metal, you don't mind some speed metal, check this one out. I think it's an Australian band. On the Shore of Life, they carry on sort of this approach. Not as much speed metal on it though, so I think this is very similar to Agent Steel's Unstoppable Force, in that Unstoppable Force is considered a groundbreaking speed metal album, but when you listen to it, there's not that much speed metal on it, to be honest. Lots of traditional metal, and it's great. Same thing with this one. You just have some really solid and great just traditional heavy metal songs. Great album, really enjoyable. Similar vocal style. It's very similar in style to Lost from the Start, except less speed, more trad. Great stuff. Up next, some more traditional heavy metal. Glaciers, The Passing of Time. Really like this piece of cover artwork. Yeah, this is also just fantastic. Traditional heavy metal with almost like hard rock elements every now and then, which is fine to my ears. You have just 8 fantastic songs from beginning to end. Just great stuff. The cover artwork does kind of have an epic feel to it, but there are some epic elements, but I would not consider this epic metal. It's not like Megaton Sword or anything like that, but it's great. Really love this album. Fantastic as well. Up next, Geezer's Black Science. Really cool piece of cover artwork. Really creepy too. You have a hand, right, with a face on it, and for some reason there's kind of like an individual Mandela effect going on here, because whenever I think of this, which is not often, I always seem to remember that the face has a mustache, but it doesn't. But that's just, Geezer Butler has a mustache. So this is Geezer Butler of Black Sabbath fame. So you might expect it to be perhaps like kind of doomy and really heavy and dark, but it's industrial metal, kind of industrial light. You don't have that much grittiness and electronic effects and all that stuff, but you do have, it is industrial, I would say. There are electronic effects, just not a lot of them. It does, the band makes use of this kind of repetition of smaller guitar figures, and that's repeated again and again and again. You have some new metal, to be honest, groove figures as well. This is not as bad as a lot of new metal, but there are new metal elements on it. There are 13 songs on it, and I think that's way too many songs, to be honest. It's not a great album, in my opinion, because I'm not the biggest fan of industrial metal, but there are some enjoyable songs on here. It does get a bit samey to my ears, though, and that might just be because I haven't listened to a whole lot of industrial in my time. It's fine, it's decent. If you like industrial metal, maybe you will enjoy it, although it's perhaps a bit light to real hardcore industrial fans. If you like new metal and you're tired of sort of the stereotypical new metal bands, I think maybe you'll enjoy this, because it is a bit more exciting than your sort of typical new metal bands were. But yeah, industrial, not a masterpiece in my opinion, but it's okay. And that actually also applies to this one here, Homework. Very similar in style, but you only, is what I'm trying to say, have 10 songs on here. That's a bit more appropriate, I think. I think this one is also a bit heavier. It's the heavier one of the two, but it's very similar in style. And so you have some new metal elements, you have some groovy parts, a lot of industrial parts, a bit more aggression here, to be honest. But yeah, so industrial metal, both of these, not bad, but not my favorite of the bunch. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed listening to these CDs, and maybe some of them seem interesting to you. If they do, by all means, do check them out. And again, as I said, if you do like new metal, if you do like industrial metal, check out the Geezer ones. They're not super exciting to me, but I don't hate them. I, enjoy some of the songs. So yeah, do check out some of these if they sound interesting. For now, thanks for watching.